What is going on, everybody? It is actually deer season right now. I don't know why I'm doing a video like this early in deer season, but in this video we are going to be talking about what my 2023-2024 season setup looks like. Some things have changed from last year. Most things have relatively remained the same. One thing that you're not going to see in this is my tree stand, mostly because it is hanging up on the wall and I didn't want to bring it down. So, but I will get to that point when I get there. Again, none of these companies support me, but I do support them. I think right now this is the best that I have available to me and what I'm willing to spend my money on. So take this as just some random dude on the internet saying that he likes some of these products, and nothing more ta that. I'm just a guy on the internet that has some opinions on some products that I've been using. So let's just get into it. The main show, or main actor in this show, is this Hoyt bow. I actually did get this year. I did put the HDX drop away rest on it. I'm shooting a Magnus broadhead, Magnus buzz cut 125 broadheads, and I do sharpen those myself. I do think they come out of the package sharp. However, I like to take it just a little bit longer, or a little bit more, and get some extra sharpness out of them. And let me tell you what, these things sharpen up super sharp. I think the 125s run about $45 a pack, and I'm gonna tell you they fly great, field point accurate, if your bow is tuned for broadheads that are fixed blades. Now some people get we're gonna get a little bit further into what I really wanted, but some bows are not tuned for fixed blade broadheads. That's why the mechanical appeal is so great, is because you can just slap a mechanical on and pretty well shoot mechanicals like field points. But they do take a little bit of time to get tuned in if your bow isn't tuned for them, and that is any fixed blade broadhead. But I would say I highly recommend fixed blades over mechanicals. That's just a personal thing. With the right setup, mechanicals work fine, but I like the tried and true fixed blades. So anyway, running the stock side on that, stock quiver. I've got a hog, what is that, a hog spot? The Wise Guy, big fan of that. I went with the BOA setup there, just got some binoculars there from Vortex. You know, I really like most of Vortex products because of their warranty. But it's neither here nor there. They're binoculars, they work. And then let's get into a little bit of the camera side. Obviously, I'm using a GoPro 7. Maybe not obviously, but this video is being recorded with just about every other video that I've done on here with this GoPro. It is a Hero 7 Black, nothing fancy. I would like to get a media package for it someday, but that's not today. As far as my other camera, is a Canon R80. Nothing fancy, just something to zoom in and zoom out. It does 1080p. I don't even think they make those anymore, to be completely honest with you guys. But it seems to work just fine. I actually didn't get to use it last year. Last year my buck kill was filmed on this, and you guys blew that up, so I appreciate that. Hopefully we can get another one like that this year. As far as a backpack to carry all my junk in, I am using a Badlands backpack. This is an H2. I think it's one of their day packs. I can't actually find the actual model number for it for some reason. I think it's an older one. I mean, I know it's an older one, but I bought this with my saddle package. And then I'm running a Predator platform from Tethered. Overall, it's a pretty decent platform. I like the size of it. It's not the XL. I do think someday I may go to the XL, but I do like the small size of that to just kind of wrap everything up in the backpack. I can get all this stuff in the backpack, so do like that part. Then I also carry some shears, a little small blade there to cut things out of the way. I understand if you are on public, you can't really use either one of those, so that kind of is what it is. But since I'm hunting private, I also use this 10-foot Hooyman. I'm going to tell you, I thought this wouldn't have been something that I take out every time I go out, but it is, you always see that one little stick that is in the way that prevents you from having the perfect shooting lane. So this thing extends out to 10 foot, I think, and it is super sharp, and it's even pretty nice to have around the house, honestly. So I would highly recommend getting those. I think they run about $100-ish. And then, you know, I do climb the trees sometimes in my saddle. This is a retriever. I do like it. It's kind of like a dog leash. I also just run a regular rope with 2 little carabiners on it, and I just snap everything in and carry everything up. So a couple little bow mounts there. Again, not for public land because you screw these into the tree, so you can't do that on public, or at least in Indiana you can't. Just a rattle bag there. I don't really know if those work. I've only rattled in one deer that I can definitively say I have rattled in, and I also have a grunt call that's in my truck and not out here, so boo on me, but another Walmart special grunt call. Sorry. Camera setup. Back to the camera setup. I am using a Muddy arm. It's not, I don't know if this is, I don't think this is the Pro. Pretty standard arm, straps to the tree. Comes with a, actually the sight bubble is on there, so that tells you if you're level or not. The fluid head, not the fluid head, maybe it's the fluid head, whatever that camera mount shindig is, kinda sucks, honestly. I have a new one. It's a 4th Arrow one. It is on my it is on my monopod right now. I do plan on switching that over. It is much nicer of a fluid head. I think it's a fluid head. I don't really know. I'm not too good at this camera stuff, as you can tell. But yeah, using that as my setup, strap it to the tree, ratchet strap it down, put the arm in, put the camera on top, and then you hopefully make a movie or a video that makes you ultra famous on the internet. Let's get into the saddle setup. I am running the, I think this is the Arrow Hunter Kestrel. I'm not sure if they're even made anymore. I did buy this used secondhand, so we got that going for us. I bought this whole setup. Used, which is nice on the pocketbooks, because I think I saved probably 50% or better. Just a couple little, you know, lineman's belts, stuff like that. I do have 2 Ropeman ones that I do plan on installing, which will help out a bunch. Say what you want about these Hawk sticks. I do know there's some people out there that don't exactly like Hawk, and it's because their products sometimes fail. I think a lot of it is user error. These have had the pieces that do fail taken off and modified a touch. As you can see, there are some aiders on there, and I actually bought these off of a dude at work. These were the original sticks that I got. These are API 32-inch sticks. I got 3 of them. Can typically get right around, I'm going to say, 12 to 14 feet. I actually haven't used those before. No, that's not true. I've used those once. Didn't use every stick, so I only used a couple. So I don't really know how high I can get. But I would say I can get pretty high with those because I do have 4 of them and I have 3 of these. I do use these sticks here as a permanent hang or preset hang, simply because they are considerably more heavy than those Hawks. So I go out and hang these normally and get them as a preset, and so all I have to do is carry all this other junk in and mount my platform. So then once the platform's mounted, you just go to hunting. I really need something to hang my stuff on with the tree, like a strap. I know Tethered makes a bunch of them, and I think there's some other actual duck hunting companies that make some timber straps to be able to hang some things and not puncture the trees. But again, hunting on hunting on private, I do use these little Walmart cheapo bow hangers. They seem to work pretty well. One thing that I am excited for this year, I have never really had a nice, quote unquote, set of hunting clothes. Everything has always been a hand-me-down or a Walmart special. Nothing wrong with that. I hunt a lot, and I would like something sometimes a little bit more quality and warm, instead of just getting a couple seasons out of the Walmart stuff. So I did go out and buy a Badlands jacket. This jacket is, I am awful with names, so I don't really remember, but I did go into my local dealer, Great Outdoors in Jasper, so shameless plug there. And they helped me get in one of these. I would recommend it. It is very warm. It's waterproof. It's supposed to be windproof. And the other cool thing is I can actually hook my tree stand harness into that and run it as one. Wouldn't be very good though if you get into the stand and you're hot and you got to take your jacket off. I don't think you could take the jacket off if it's all intertwined together, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I don't think I'll ever run it on the intertwined. And then I am running for my climber stand, I'm running the Summit Pro, I think is what it is. And then actually there is my Summit Goliath. Now you're probably wondering, Chris, why would you carry around that when you can carry around that? Clearly all that stuff is much more organized, kind of, than just using that. Well, I'm going to tell you, using these is nice, don't get me wrong. I haven't quite figured out how to make them as comfortable as that. That is like the creme de la creme, like sitting in a lazy boy. I hunt out of that from sun up to sundown, multiple times during season. I can do it. It's awesome. The most I can get out of, a set like this is about 6 hours, and that is, to me, that's really pushing it. Now, I will say this, a lot of it's in my feet and knees. I could get some really, really cheap knee pads and lean against the tree and kind of help save my back. But the other thing is my boots are my boots for these. I have some really heavy boots and some really light boots. I don't have a really nice medium style boot, which I need with a stiff sole. The stiff sole is huge for saddle hunting. If you don't have a stiff sole, your feet will kind of like form to the curve, which doesn't seem like it's a bad idea. Kind of sucks though, because they will end up hurting. And my heavy boots do have a stiff sole on them, but they're heavy and not very nice for walking long walks or being really mobile. Now, if I'm using that beautiful darling right there, I can, and I do, use my heavy boots, mostly because I walk in and I climb up the tree and I just sit there and I enjoy the day. And then I hopefully shoot a giant buck and you guys get to see that. But that's what hopefully happens when I wear my big boots. Ideally, I just shoot a big buck regardless of using all this stuff. But I probably missed something, probably skipped something over. If you have any questions, which you guys probably don't, because there's probably going to be less than 100 people that make it this far. But if you do make it this far, like the video, subscribe, leave a comment, even just saying, hey, I made it to whatever time in the video this is, like right at the 12-13 minute mark. Yeah, I haven't been posting much lately, so I apologize for that. Hopefully we get a bunch of really good hunting footage this season, and I'm pretty pumped. Trying to do some waterfowl hunting this year, as well as just about everything, ideally. Maybe some late wintertime sauger fishing on the Ohio, but we'll kind of see what happens. But anyway, that's my setup for this season. Hopefully we can get on a couple. I will do individual reviews on my bow after I get done with this season. And then I have a few other reviews that are kind of in the pile as well. Mainly an over and under and some other odds and ends stuff. But hopefully we get on something this year and you guys can watch it. So thanks again. I know I already said thanks, but thanks again for clicking on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Maybe you laughed a little bit, but if you enjoyed it and you want to see some more, please consider subscribing and watching a couple other videos that help out the channel a lot. So thanks again. We'll catch you out there on the next one.